What is up, you guys? My name is Elizabeth Polk and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you stopped by and I hope you continue to stick around. But do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It is free and just by subscribing motivates me to put out more and better content each time. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys 10 important lessons that I would tell my younger self. And when I say my younger self, I mean between the ages of about 15 to 21. I'm 24 now, going on 25. So I would basically give this advice to my teenage, mid to late teenage years plus early 20s. So get comfortable, get your wine, get your snacks, get your smoothies, and let's just jump right into the video. Number one, watch what you post on social media. There's hardly ever a day that goes by that something doesn't pop up in my memories on Facebook of something that I posted back in 2012 and 2013 when I was 15 and 16 years old that made me just think, who gave me a phone? Who let me have a phone? Who let me have social media? Because the things I was posting, the way I was talking on there was just so reckless. And I'm just so thankful now that I'm no longer that same person. I don't have that mindset that I grew up, and I'm more cautious now of what I post on social media, because we've all heard the saying, whatever you post on social media is there. It never truly gets deleted. And even if you do delete it, it can always be traced back. And it's just so important to make sure you're watching what you post on social media, because a lot of people now use social media as really just to see a reflection of who you are, your personality, your beliefs, what you stand for, and everything. And I mean, what you post now on social media is going to follow you for the rest of your life. And social media can be a tool that for people that don't like you and trying to hurt you and destroy you and keep you from getting job positions or getting to certain organizations or even getting enrolled into colleges. They can use social media, things that you post and stuff that you said and shared and everything, to keep you from, obtaining certain things and going certain places and all of that. Not everything needs to be posted on social media. Not everywhere that you go, what you're doing, who you're talking to, your beliefs, or everything. If you have to think twice about sharing something or posting something or whatever, it shouldn't be posted on social media. Let's just make sure you are careful what you post on social media, so that way 5, 10, or 20 years down the road, it can't come back to haunt you and you won't end up regretting it. So number two, speaking of social media, this brings me to my next important lesson. Learn to live in the moment and put down your phone. One thing I've learned is that when you spend a lot of time on social media, you start paying attention and investing your time and energy into other people's lives, and then you get so caught up into their lives that it starts making you, question your own life. At least how it is with me, because I'm 24 years old and I see a lot of people my age and younger that are millionaires, billionaires, driving around in Bugattis and Bentleys. And social media can be addicting? Yeah, it can be addicting. It can be mentally draining. It can even be depressing sometimes. That's why it's so important to just put down the phone, stop investing so much time into other people's lives, because you get so caught up to other people's lives that we forget that social media sometimes is not real. Just because you see this on social media doesn't mean that's how it actually is. Just because people portray to be happy on social media doesn't mean that they're happy in real life. Just because somebody is driving around in a Rolls Royce or have like a sleeve of money or something, doesn't mean that that's their money. It doesn't mean that that is their car or whatever. Learn to be happy with yourself. Learn to be happy where you are. Everybody's life and journey is different. Learn to live in the moment. Put down the phone. Spend time with your family and your friends. But just spending hours and hours out the day on social media, just seeing what other people is doing, is just really pointless to me. Life is so short. Life is so precious. This moment right now is all that you have. Social media is going to be there. So don't waste your time and energy not enjoying the things and the people you have now, and just worrying about other things and other people that's probably, like I said, not even real, and that's not even going to benefit you or make you happy in the long run. Learn to be your first best friend. This is a very important lesson, because if you're like if you were like me, when I was a teenager, I just felt like I needed to have friends. I was just so scared of being alone, and because of that, I was hanging with people that probably really didn't like me. I really didn't even trust being around, but because I was so scared of being alone, because I didn't want to be the girl that didn't have any friends and be deemed as, the girl that's, weird and like a loser and everything. I was just hanging around people just to hang around them, just to have friends, just to have somebody to talk to and have somebody to hang out with. But I mean, nowadays, you really got to be careful of your circle. You really got to be careful of who you call your friend, because everyone that says that they are your friend aren't. Some people come into your lives portraying to be your friend just so they can sabotage you, just so they can use you, just so they can destroy your career or even take your life. Don't ever feel like you have to have friends. I'm thankful for the very few friends that I have in my life. I really trust God, hope and pray that we'd be friends for a really long time. But if something were to happen, it's okay. Life goes on. But learn how to be your first best friend first, because when you are your first best friend, you are confident in yourself. You love yourself. You can take yourself out to eat. You can take yourself on trips. And the thing about it, nobody knows you better than you. Nobody trusts you, or you can't trust anybody besides God more than you. I mean, the friends will come. Real, true, genuine friends will come. I know sometimes it gets lonely, sometimes it gets boring, but it's better to kick it by yourself than to kick it with a whole bunch of men and women that are really snakes, that are just out to set you up, that are just out to destroy you and bring you down. If I gotta be around you and I'm cautious all the time of feeling like you're gonna do something to me and I don't trust you and I don't love you, I don't care about you, I don't feel like you have the same energy and vibes and intentions with me that I have with you, I'm just gonna kick it by myself at the end of the day. It is what it is. I wish you the best, but I don't need you in my life, nor do I want you in my life. Protect your credit. Y'all, your credit score is basically your ACT/SAT score for adults. They matter and sometimes hold more value than money. I got my first credit cards when I was 19, 20 years old, and I didn't know anything about credit. So giving a 19, 20-year-old 2 credit cards was just a horrible decision. When I tell you guys, I was so irresponsible with my spending. I was so irresponsible with paying my payments on time. When I tell y'all, it shot my credit so badly. Like, my credit was almost 700 and I shot it so badly just in a matter of months down to the 300s. I'm not even joking to you. It took me now within the past 2 years just to get my credit score back to really what it originally was. Not go and get a whole bunch of credit cards, because the more credit cards that you have, the more you're going to be tempted to spend them. And when you do have credit cards, make sure that you're paying your payments on time. You're paying the minimum payment. Even just pay a little bit more, because that will help. Making sure that you're keeping the amount that you spend under the 30%, because anything over that will bring down your credit score and everything. And just try not to miss any payments, because if you miss so many payments, your credit card company will cancel you, and that will go to the credit bureau, and that's going to destroy your credit. Please make sure that you value your credit score now, and so that way you can constantly build it over time, and you can get that 750, 800, 850 credit score. Because trust me, credit score matters. And like I said before, sometimes it holds more value than actually having physical money. I could go back in time and tell my 17-year-old self 4 keywords. It would be this next key point: leave that boy alone. So just kind of like a quick story time. When I was 17, 18 years old, I was dealing with a guy who was 24, 25. He was 7 years older than me. And just to make a long story short, I spent 2 years of my life chasing that man. from the time I was about 18 to around the time I was 20 years old. I went through so many things with him, things that I don't like talking about, things that I don't share with other people. I never plan on sharing, but I went through a lot of things with him. And really, when you're 17, 18 years old and you're dealing with an older guy, that's 7, 10, plus many years older than you, majority of the time it is regarding sex. I mean, most guys that age, that are 7, 10 plus years older than the girl that they're talking to or hanging out with, they really don't see them as girlfriend or wife material. Most of the time it's just a sex thing. Most of the time they see the women as being gullible, vulnerable, naive, that there's somebody, that they can take fast. At least that's how it's been with me, or how it was with me when I was younger with the older guys that I would talk to. They would use me, whether it's for sex, let's just keep it real, whether it's for sex, whether it's for a place to stay, whether they wanted me to use my car to take them places. Well, I would say they, but really him, and I just went through a lot with him, like abuse, physically, mentally, verbally, like even to this day. And I've been, done with him now for over 4 years. I still get so upset with myself just for allowing myself to go through those things with him. But of course, like I said, I was young, I was dumb, I was immature, and I didn't love myself. I felt like I needed a man in my life. I felt like I needed him. I felt like I needed his approval to validate me. I just felt like I couldn't live without him. I felt like he was my happiness, he was my joy, he was my world. And that was just a horrible, horrible way to feel. And I never want you ladies or gentlemen too, if you're watching this, to ever feel like you need somebody in your life. Like, that man would just talk to me any kind of way and I would let him. He would ghost me for months at a time and then come back in my life and then, just sweet talk me. And of course, like I said, I was so gullible. I would believe his lies and let him back in. But that's because I didn't love myself. I didn't value myself. I didn't know my self-worth and what I deserved. And it actually brings me to my next point, is self-love is the best love. You have to learn to love yourself first and respect yourself and value yourself as a true queen, or a king too, if you're watching this as well. And that's something that I had trouble with for the longest, really until last year. I didn't like myself. I felt as if I was unattractive. I felt like, nobody would really want me. I hated my body. I felt like I was fat. I had no butt. I just felt like I wasn't attractive or sexy. And it's really taken a lot for me to get to the point now. Like, my confidence is so up here. It's not full 100%, but it's in the 90 percentile. And that's the highest it's ever been. Like, I truly love myself now. I value myself. I would not let any man or anybody come into my life and try to devalue me and degrade me and disrespect me and make me feel like I'm ugly and make me feel like I'm worthless and make me feel like, I have to be with him, or it's an honor for me, or I should feel honored and privileged to be with him. Like, no. That BS probably would have went with 17, 18-year-old Liz, but not 24 or almost 25-year-old Liz. Like, I know who I am. I love who I am. And nobody can come in my life and try to destroy me now. You can say I'm ugly. You can say I need to hate my body. You can say I'll never get a man. I'm this and I'm that. And people have said that to me, especially last year. But no matter what you do or what you say, I know who I am. I love who I am. And I just feel like you trying to destroy my confidence and bring me down is because you're either jealous of me, or you don't like yourself. And that's a problem that you and God need to handle. Don't try to take it out on me. Listen to your elders. Y'all, now that I'm older, I realized that everything my mom was telling me growing up was true. Whether she would tell me about friends that I had in my life, or guys that I was interested in talking to, or just things that I was trying to do, everything that she was telling me was true. And everything that your mom, your dad, your grandparents, or whoever is telling you, is because they've been there. They've done that. There's really nothing new under the sun. There's really nothing new going on that our parents and grandparents didn't try to pull when they were our age as well. And because they've seen certain things, they've been through certain things, they know the path that we're trying to go down, they know the things that we're trying to do, and all they're just trying to do is just stop us from making mistakes that could negatively affect or even end our lives. You only get one mom, you only get one dad. And I know you may think, when you're 15, 16, like, oh my gosh, like, my mom is so unfair, she's not cool, she just doesn't want me to have fun, she just doesn't want me to have a life. But like my mom always says, and she even tells me today, she's like, I want you to have fun, but I want you to have safe fun. And that's all your parents is trying to do. Like, if your parents tell you, like, hey, I have a certain feeling about so and so, I feel like maybe you shouldn't talk to them, or I feel like maybe you shouldn't do this or do that, please listen to them. They know what they're talking about. They're not trying to crimp your style. They're not trying to embarrass you. They're not trying to keep you from having fun. They just want you to be wise and just want you to be safe. Start networking. This is something that I really wish I can go back and tell my 18, 19-year-old self when I was a freshman in college. Listen, you are never too old or never too young to start networking. You can start networking in high school. You can start even networking when you're in middle school. But it's so important to start networking, building connections with people, building relationships with people. Don't wait until you're a senior in college. Don't wait till after you get your degree. Like, you never know who you may need to go to for a job interview, or a letter of recommendation, or whatever. By the time that you become an adult, or by the time that you graduate and get your degree, it's easier for you to transition from a child and into the real world, because you have better connections. You're more likely to get a job. You're more likely to get certain positions that maybe some other people can't, because a degree is important. I have a bachelor's degree, as many as you guys know, but sometimes it's not what you know, but sometimes it's who you know. And that's why I always contribute to God first. Like, I know him, and I know that he will place people in my life and allow me to cross paths with people that I need to, in order to get me to where I want to go and to help me to do the things that I need to do. I don't care if you're 16, 17 years old and you're watching this video. Start networking now, because you never know who you're going to need and when. Get your funds up. Y'all, we're living in a generation now where we have 18, 19, 20-year-old bosses, 18, 19, 20-year-old millionaires. And I look at them now as being 24, almost 25, as inspiration. Like, I don't look at them with envy, like, oh, why do they have that, or they don't deserve that. I look at them with ambition. Like, if she or he is 18, 19 years old and have multiple businesses and they're millionaires and billionaires, I know I can do that at 24 going on 25 years old. And I love that we're in a generation now where you can have multiple businesses online, business at home. You can work from home, have so many different side hustles that bring you in so much money. Like, because really, if we're being honest, if you really want to be financially stable, sometimes just having only one, one type of income just sometimes isn't enough. Sometimes you need to have 2 and 3 different types of incomes. You can have like your main job, whether 9 to 5, but then also have a side hustle as well, something you do often, maybe something you do once a week or a couple times a month, but have different forms of income coming in. Get your funds up, find multiple ways to make money, start a business, use one of your talents or something to start making money, create a YouTube channel, find different ways to make money and get your funds up so you will never have to be broke another day in your life, and you could be living as lavishly as you see all these other people on social media doing as well. And who knows, by the time you become 35 or 40 years old, you can retire as well. This brings to my very last thing that I would tell my younger self. Enjoy being a kid. Y'all, we're only a kid for what, 17, 18 years out of our life. And then the rest of our life, we have to be an adult. And I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like a lot of people agree with me. Being an adult is hard and it's ghetto over here. I mean, you gotta pay bills, you gotta go to school, you gotta make money and pay rent and utilities. It's like every time you get a dime, something breaks down, something needs to be fixed, something needs to be repaired. And then too, you just never really realize how much things cost. Everything just costs. I mean, but when you're a kid, you don't have to worry about any of that. All you have to do is just worry about getting up, going to school, and doing your homework. I wanted to grow up so fast, and now I just wish I was 5 years old again. Once you turn 18 and you move out of your parents' house and you go to school and you get your degree and you have to get a real job and pay real bills, it's not fun over here. It's not fun. The older that you get, the more you're going to realize your mom, your dad, your grandparents, the people that raised you, those are really your dogs. Those are really your best friends. Like, I call my mom for everything. I talk to my mom about everything. Now that I'm older, I love my mom. I did love my mom then, but I love my mom even more. I respect her even more. She is such a treasure in my life. I value her so much. I don't care how old you are. I don't care whether you're 14, you're 44, you're 84. If your parents are alive, respect them, value them, honor them, because no matter how old you get or whatever you do in life, you are going to need them. You become an adult, sometimes all you can afford is a pack of noodles and some water. It's ratchet over here. It's very ratchet. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, do not forget to give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys are following me on all my social media accounts to keep up with my life off camera. And make sure that you guys hit that notification bell so you will be the first to be notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.